Okay.
Okay. Well, good morning. I am Juliana Reshik, and I serve as the chair of the Finance Committee of the Kansas State Board of Nursing. I ask other members of the Finance Committee to respond to a roll call to show their presence at this open meeting via conference call. Lori Owen.
Present.
There's Geeta trying to connect. Geeta Noble. I can see her on there, but she's still muted.
I'm here. Sorry.
Great. Welcome, Geeta. I also ask the following board staff members to signify their attendance. Carol Moreland, Executive Administrator.
Present.
Adrian Guerrero, Director of Operations.
Present.
Jill Simmons, Executive Assistant.
Present.
Public comment allows individuals to address the Finance Committee about their concerns, but the Kansas Open Meetings Act, which is known as KOMA, does not require the Finance Committee to provide public comment or answer questions from individuals. Public comment will not be taken today because there is the possibility that the connection for the remote meeting may be lost over time, and the time for the meeting may not allow everyone who is present to comment. Additionally, we will not know what comments an individual may make, and we would want to provide notice to the public of our intent to discuss a particular matter so that the public may listen and observe our discussion. Because we are conducting this public meeting remotely by Zoom and YouTube, I state for the record the following information. On March 14th, 2022, the board sent notice of the meeting for the Finance Committee to all individuals who have requested notice of the committee's meeting. Additionally, the notice and agenda were posted on the board's website, ksbn.kansas.gov. You may obtain a copy of the notice and agenda at the website or by sending an email to carol.moreland@ks.gov with the subject line, request for the agenda, and the board staff will send it to you. The notice contains the internet links to access the meeting by Zoom and YouTube. The notice also contains the Zoom telephone number to attend this meeting by telephone call. Each of these electronic mediums allow the public to attend this meeting free of charge. The notice also advises individuals to contact the board's office at 785-296-2967 if they experience any technical issues during the meeting. The only mediums for interactive communication offered for this meeting are the connections by Zoom and YouTube as previously stated. Each member of the committee, board staff, or presenter shall state the person's name and title each time the person speaks or votes, as the case may be. Each participant to this meeting shall ensure microphones, phones, or other electronic devices are on mute when the participant is not speaking. Each motion will be clearly stated before the committee votes, and the chair will announce the results of the final vote. A statement or motion will clearly identify and authorize by delegation each member of the committee or staff who will be permitted to sign any document on behalf of the committee. The meeting is being recorded, and the recording will be posted at the board's website. The committee has the following items listed on the agenda: call to order, review of on-site packet, additions or revisions to the agenda, announcements, approval of minutes for the meeting held in December of 2021, unfinished business, new business, agenda for June 2022 committee meeting, and adjournment. Although the agenda does not include an executive session, if the committee elects to exercise the option to go into executive session, the committee will follow the process. First, the committee must be in open session before going into an executive session. Then a motion will be made and seconded pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. The motion must contain the statement of justification for closure, the subject to be discussed, and the time and place that the open meeting will resume. If a motion for executive session passes, public will be excluded from this portion of the meeting, as an executive session will be conducted by electronic means that will not be made available to the public. The committee members will return to the open meeting after the executive session. The open meeting will resume when the committee members return to the Zoom and YouTube meeting after the executive session. The complete motion for an executive session will be recorded in the minutes. The meeting is now called to order and the committee will now consider the next item on its agenda. So review of on-site packet, and I don't believe we had one. Is that correct, Jill?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. How about any announcements?
I don't think so.
Not from anyone? Okay. Approval of our minutes from the December meeting.
Do we need a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting? If so, I, Gita Noble, public member, make that motion.
Thank you, Gita. Is there a second?
Lori Owen, I'll second.
Thank you, Lori. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, let's look at our unfinished business. We have the monthly finance report update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is Carol Moreland, Executive Administrator, and this actually will start on page 6 in your handout. On page 6, you will see the fee fund balance. And this is as of the end of January, because we never get the report for the previous month soon enough to put in the packet, if that makes sense, because we make the packets up so far out. But you will see that the fee fund continues to raise a little bit. It'll be interesting to see if we start seeing the revenue kind of even out a little bit because of being in the compact for over 2 years now. And so we thought we might start seeing that and kind of the pandemic maybe settling down a little bit. So anyway, the fee fund, is looking good. And then you'll see the expenditures and all of that is on page 7. And again, that's through the end of January. We seem to be doing fine with that. You will see it more on some months because there's times that we pay like rent and stuff. We only do that quarterly. We pay KNAP quarterly and stuff like that. So that's why there's some variation month to month like that. And then on page 8, you will see the revenue that comes in. And again, the majority of it is from licensure fees, as you see. So I would anticipate that will go up a little bit, probably in February, March, and April, just because of the May grads. That's the biggest group that we have graduating is in May. So we always see that go up a little bit when we start getting their applications and their fees and all of that. And then what I did on page 9 is I just kind of put the numbers all together so that you can kind of see, I put the difference and you'll see that, the difference is kind of settling down a little bit because like in August of 2021, the difference was $262,000. Of course, that's when the end of the expiration ended and stuff like that. So again, we may start seeing that revenue start getting a little bit more in sync with each other. And you'll see that on the one right below. And then the expenditures are listed down there. And the fee fund is on page 10, just the graphic of it. And you will see that it is slowing down, going up and stuff like that. Just as a reminder, when I went over to the budget hearing, there was discussion with some of the licensure boards because it was felt that their fee fund balance was too much. That was not the case with us. There was no discussion with us about that. They did say at that point in time that they kind of like the fee fund to be no more than twice your annual appropriations. So we have a little ways to go on that. So anyway, just to let you know. And I think that's it for the monthly reports.
All right. Well, looks good, Carol. You guys are doing a great job. I really don't have any comments. I'm glad to hear from the report when you presented it across the street. So I'm glad they didn't have any concerns. I don't know if there's any other comments or discussion. You want to give us an update for fiscal year 22 and 23 budgets?
Yes, what I put in your packet on page 12 is actually the governor's budget report. And you'll see when you look in here that the budget or the governor concurred with what we were asking for, and you actually see that on page 14. Actually, it went up just a little bit because of the pay raise that was given to a few employees who met the criteria for that pay increase. So you will see that our appropriations were increased a little bit to cover that, which is normal. Just to kind of let you know what's going on right now, the legislature is this week doing concurrent committees before they try to finalize a lot of stuff and leave for spring break. They're gone a lot of April for spring break, and then they come back the end of April, the first part of May to do any further things that they have to do, any vetoes maybe that the governor did, and they want to try to overrule the vetoes and stuff like that. So as far as the budget so far, our budget has been sailing through there without an issue. And what is still included is my understanding is a 5% pay raise for state employees. So we're hoping that stays in there. They had evidently several committee meetings yesterday trying to, on the concurrent committees, what works is they have like a few from the House and they have a few from the Senate, and they meet and they try to talk about their differences and try to agree on something. And then they go back and talk, and that can go on for a little while, as it has for the budget, but ours is not one of them that they're discussing. So I think probably that ours is fine. I'm just hoping that the 5% pay increase for our staff stays in there. So far it's been in there. So hopefully that will stay.
Good. Okay. Well, it all sounds very positive. Do we need a motion to approve the report?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think we have we, Jill?
No, we have not in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. An update on our data center. Is that you, Adrian?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Adrian Guerrero, Director of Operations. Not a whole lot to update, unfortunately, on this. I think I told you at the last meeting that the company that we're using is going through a merger or a buyout or something to that effect with another company that has been as yet unnamed. I had hoped that I would know by this meeting what their plans were, but as of last week, we have still not heard what the official cost or anything is going to be for us to potentially have to move again, which is unfortunate because Colton and Tony and I have been working really hard to get things running great in this new environment, which we're happy to say is working well for us. But it's like anything, can't plan for everything. So hopefully I will know here relatively soon.
Okay. Any questions for Adrian? Hopefully we'll find more information out. Okay, well, moving on to new business, we have our 5-year legislative review. Our first one is KSA 74-1112. It's regarding the fingerprints. I don't know if everybody had a chance to review it. It appears pretty straightforward to me.
Madam President, when you're ready, I have a motion to read.
I think I'm ready at any time, Jill.
Okay. Is there a committee member who would like to make the following motion? I move to approve KSA 74-1112 as written.
This is Lori Owen, board member. I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Lori.
This is Gita Noble, and I will second.
Thanks, Gita. Any discussion? All in favor, respond by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So then we have let's see, is it KSA or is it, KSA 65-4208 regarding fees. And again, this one appears pretty straightforward as well. I don't know if you have any thoughts or discussions about it. This is with respect to the mental health technician programs and licensure fees for the mental health technicians. We did not change these fees last year or recently when we changed the nursing fees. Is that correct, Carol?
Yes, Madam Chair, it is. Because the compact doesn't affect them at all. So we kind of left, we have probably, I don't know, less than 100, I would say, licensed mental health technicians. And there is one program, as far as the training program through Osawatomie, and they have a satellite in Larned. But I believe since COVID, they have kind of stopped that, but they only usually graduated maybe 6 to 8 a year, if even that often. So it's not like we're seeing a lot with this, but we do have some.
And we are at a total of 56 at this point.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that update. So Jill will entertain a motion whenever you're ready.
Okay. Is there a committee member who would like to make the following motion? I move to approve KSA 65-4208 as written.
This is Lori Owen, board member. I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Lori.
This is Gita Noble, and I will second.
Thanks, Gita. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, how about any agenda items that we need to put on for our June meeting?
Madam Chair, I would say, kind of what's listed under unfinished business, and probably Adrian, an update on the data center. You may know a little bit more then. Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, I should know, hopefully.
And we should know, the final thing about the fiscal year 22 and 23 budget
Okay.
By the June meeting. So.
Well, I know there's a lot of work that goes into managing a budget and the data center transition that had happened. So this has been a fast meeting, but I know that I don't mean for that to be indicative of light work, because I know there's been a lot done here. So I appreciate what you all have done. And that makes our work easy, particularly sitting through this committee. So thank you very much. And without any other items on our agenda, we can adjourn.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
All right.